The message reached Earth at midnight. A strange signal, deep bass sound, vibrating through every satellite. Scientists didn't understand it. Military officers tried to decode it. But one thing was clear, it was not human. The world held its breath as the transmission repeated again and again like a heartbeat in the void. Captain Aria Morgan stood inside the command room of the Terran fleet, her eyes fixed on the hologram. A single line appeared on screen. "You are seen." Nobody knew who sent it. Nobody knew from where. But the galaxy finally looked back at humanity, and humanity stared forward, unblinking. 3 days later, Earth launched its largest exploration cruiser, TSV Horizon 12, carrying diplomats, soldiers, and brave volunteers. Their mission: find the source of the signal, understand it, make contact, or prepare for war. The Horizon 12 slipped through the silent dark, stars stretching like silver threads. The crew felt fear, but also something stronger: hope. Humans had dreamed of the stars for centuries. Now they finally stood on their doorstep. Then it happened. An object appeared on their scanners. Massive, slow, silent, like a sun covered in metal. A galactic giant, thousands of times larger than their ship. Its hull seemed older than planets, marked by time, war, and history unknown to mankind. No light shined from it, only cold shadows that swallowed space around it. The bridge fell silent. No one spoke. Hearts pounded like drums in a graveyard. The giant moved, not forward, but toward them. Every alarm screamed at once. The crew froze. Humanity's first contact was not peaceful, not gentle. It was powerful. It was enormous. And it was awake. To protect Earth or to destroy it. No one yet knew. But the first meeting had begun. The Horizon 12 floated like a tiny seed beside a world-sized machine. No engines roared. No weapons fired. Yet every human aboard felt as if they were standing inside the mouth of a sleeping titan. Commander Aria Morgan ordered calm, but her voice carried a tremor only she felt. "Open all channels," she said, trying to sound brave. Maybe the giant only watched. Maybe it did not wish to kill. A vibration rolled through the ship, soft, deep, like a whisper across metal. Screens flickered. Holograms twisted into symbols no one understood. Then a voice emerged, not through speakers, not through radio waves. It spoke inside every human mind. "Insignificant sparks. Why do you stand before a star?" The words were cold, heavy, ancient. Arya felt her lungs tighten. The crew staggered, hands over ears though there was no sound. This was not communication, it was dominance. Humanity had been noticed, but not welcomed. Arya answered with the only thing humans had ever used to survive: courage. "We are not sparks," she said aloud. "We are humans, and we stand because we seek peace." Silence filled the void. Then, light ignited across the giant's hull. Thousands of enormous panels shifted like dragon scales, revealing cities of machinery, glowing blue like living oceans. Small ships launched from its surface, each the size of mountains compared to the Horizon 12. They didn't attack. They surrounded. The crew realized with horror, these were not warships. They were escorts. The giant wanted the humans alive. The Horizon 12 was pulled slowly toward a massive docking aperture, like an insect carried into a predator's jaws. No one could escape. No one could fight. Humanity's first meeting was no longer a choice. It was a summoning. And somewhere deep inside the Titan, something waited for them. Something older than fear. Something that watched and judged. The real encounter was just beginning. The docking bay swallowed the Horizon 12 whole. No metal doors closed. No guards appeared. Just endless corridors of shifting silver, like a machine grown instead of built. The crew stared through the viewing glass. Tiny humans inside a cosmic cathedral. Arya led the landing team. 10 humans stepped out first, boots touching alien floor for the very first time. The surface moved beneath them, not soft, not hard, alive. Their lights reflected across walls that flowed like liquid steel. No one spoke, not even to breathe bravery into the silence. Then the floor rose, forming a platform that lifted them deeper into the titanic vessel. No engines, no sound, only movement like a heartbeat guiding them toward something waiting. As they ascended, holograms flickered around them. Images of stars exploding, galaxies burning, entire civilizations kneeling before this machine-like empire. But one image repeated more than others, a small blue planet. Earth. Aria's pulse hammered. They have seen us for a long time. Maybe before we even knew the stars were real. They reached a chamber like a planet's core, round, endless, full of vertical light pillars stretching into infinity. In the center hovered a figure. Not flesh, not metal, a shape made of starlight, shifting every second, as if the universe itself borrowed a body. The voice returned, softer now, but still ancient. You seek peace, but you carry war inside your blood. Arya stepped forward, though her legs shook. We came to learn, not to conquer. The chamber dimmed. The star being drifted closer, towering above them like a god remembering its first children. Then you must prove humanity deserves to live beside giants. The light flared, bright enough to blind. And suddenly the humans stood in a battlefield they didn't recognize. Not simulation, not hologram. Real ground, real sky, real war. The test had begun, and failure meant extinction. The world around them changed like a nightmare opening its eyes. Dry red soil, a toxic sky swirling with storms. Mountains cracked like old bone. Humanity's landing team stood in alien armor they didn't recognize. The giant had equipped them for war. But for which enemy, no one knew. Arya tested her visor. Oxygen level stabilized. The voice echoed across the sky, not from speakers, but from the clouds themselves. Survive. No instructions. No allies. Just survival. A roar tore across the barren landscape. From behind the black hills emerged creatures like molten stone, their bodies dripping with lava, eyes burning like miniature suns. They moved fast, too fast for giants of rock. Private Lewis panicked and fired the first shot. Blue plasma streaked across the air. It only made the creature angrier. The ground shook as dozens more charged. Arya shouted orders, voice steady despite the terror. Form circle. Watch your sides. Aim for joints. The humans fought like cornered wolves. Plasma burned through rocky limbs. Creatures shattered into fire and ash, but more kept coming. The team's heartbeats pounded like war drums, breath ragged, backs pressed against each other. For every monster they killed, two more rose. Arya realized the truth. This was not a test of strength. It was a test of unity. If they broke formation, they would die one by one. With a final burst of courage, Arya sprinted forward, drawing the monsters toward her. The team followed, firing in rhythm. Step by step, they adapted, learned, survived. The star being watched silently from the sky, judging. After hours that felt like years, the battlefield became quiet. Smoke rose like broken prayers. The humans stood blooded, bruised, but alive. The clouds parted, and the giant spoke once more. You survive well, but survival is not enough. Lightning cracked, and the world shifted again. This time, they were not alone. The battlefield dissolved like wind through smoke. Ash turned to stars. Dust turned to silence. The humans stood now inside a grand hall of light. No ground beneath them, no walls around them. Space stretched infinite, filled with galaxies turning like slow-burning lanterns. At the center waited the galactic giant's true council, not one being, but many, towering silhouettes of energy, each shaped like constellations. Their voices moved like thunder and whisper. Humans survive. Humans adapt. But will humans protect? Suddenly images appeared around the team, not simulations, not illusions, but windows into reality. One showed Earth, peaceful, blue, unaware of the danger. Another showed a distant human colony, burning under alien invasion, ships screaming in fire, civilians running, cities turning to ash. Arya's heart froze. These were humans too. Families, children, entire futures dying under red skies. The council spoke as one. A hostile empire attacks your kind. You may save them, or save Earth. Not both. The team felt the weight of a universe pressing down on them. Two destinies. One choice. Lewis stepped forward first, voice sharp with anger. We protect Earth. Home comes first. But Medic Hannah shook her head, eyes filled with tears. If we abandon them, are we still human? Arya said nothing at first. She stared at the burning colony, heard silent screams through the light. Then she looked at the quiet blue Earth, her family, her people, billions breathing safely. Both sides were right. Both sides were wrong. She finally spoke, voice steady like steel. "We will protect them all, or die trying." The council fell silent. Stars dimmed. Galaxies trembled. Humans had refused the limits the giants tried to impose. The trial was no longer a test. It was now a war of wills. And the giants were not used to being denied. The Council of Giants reacted like a storm breaking open. Stars shattered into fragments of light. Galaxies spun like torn banners in war. Humans had chosen the impossible, to save everyone. A deep voice rose from the void, darker than any sound before. "Then fight a battle no species has ever won." And space itself unfolded. The humans stood aboard a colossal warship, not theirs, but gifted by the giant to test their claim. Its size dwarfed every Terran vessel, pulsing with energy like newborn suns. 1,000 weapons lined its frame, humming with power humanity could barely comprehend. Ahead waited the battlefield, the burning colony. Alien dreadnoughts poured fire across cities, oceans of plasma raining down like meteors. Civilians ran through smoke and ruin. Humanity had minutes, not hours. Arya gripped the command throne. Fear would not lead them. Choice would. "Target enemy flagships," she ordered. "Protect civilians first. Win second." A strategy no giant species ever chose, but humans did. The Titan warship roared like a star exploding. Beams of light carved through alien cruisers, shields shattered like glass. But for every enemy destroyed, 2 more emerged. The battle wasn't power, it was endurance. The humans fought without rest, without certainty, without surrender. Lewis took gunner's control. Hannah saved hundreds through teleport extraction, each soldier bleeding but unbroken. And when the last of the civilian transports escaped into warp, Arya gave her final command. "Now, for every life we saved, fight back." The Titan ship descended like judgment. The enemy fleet burned like dying suns. When silence returned, when the smoke finally cleared, a single message echoed across the galaxy. Humans protect more than themselves. The giants bowed, something they had never done. Humanity had earned not just survival, but respect, and the stars would never forget them. Milky Way fire.